Patch in here, scratching over there and here. Out here doing a little bit of pre-season scouting. This is one of my favorite places to hunt right in here. In fact, just over my shoulder back there about 75, 80 yards, just right across my shoulder, I killed a big 25-pound gobbler just about 4 years ago, I guess it was, right in here. And I've killed about 3 right along this hillside over the years. It's one of my favorite places to turkey hunt. And the reason why that this is such a good place, because I found this place by not listening to turkeys, but actually what's on the ground. And we're going to be talking about what's on the ground and how you can become a better turkey hunter. If you'll stop hunting with your ears and start hunting with your eyes and start looking down, you'll become a better turkey hunter by following the sign. You stay tuned. I've actually done a couple of videos on turkey sign and how to read turkey sign in the past on the channel here. But them 2 videos have never really caught on. They've never really got a lot of views. But I can post a video a week later about the whine or about strut zones or a strategy on how to, get around on an old gobbler. Or I can post about contentment calls or just any other thing related to turkey hunting, and the views go way up. But the moment that a turkey hunter sees in the thumbnail turkey sign or something to do with sign, it's like they just shut down and go, we don't care about that. It's true. I really believe that. Now, them same turkey hunters many times are deer hunters, but I guarantee you some of you that's not interested in turkey sign or is sure interested in deer sign. You can post a video on scrapes, you can post a video on rubs, you can post a video on how to find bedding areas, you can post a video on how to hunt bedding areas, you can post a video on faint trails versus heavily used trails when it comes to whitetails, and buddy, we will watch a video on sign. But when it comes to turkeys, horse of a different color. It's just like they just shut down and say, well, we don't care. And you know why? I really believe this, because we've grown accustomed to hunting turkeys with our ears. Turkey hunters have a habit of just listening, get out there and hoot like an owl and just get out there and call a little bit and just listen for turkeys. And if they don't hear turkeys, they start getting depressed and they start just getting mentally defeated, and they go, oh boy, it's going to be a rough day. They ain't gobbling. Okay. And it's true, but I don't get like that. I really don't. When they're not gobbling, of course I love to hear them gobble, and I love them gobbling mornings versus the quiet mornings. Of course I do. Anybody does. But when they're not gobbling, I'm going to kill them anyway. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I say that a lot. When I'm helping other hunters in seminars, or I'm talking to a group of hunters, I say, look, I don't care if they're gobbling or not. I'm going to kill them anyway. You know how I'm going to kill them? Because I know how to hunt turkeys by what's on the ground. I'm not listening for turkeys or looking for turkeys that's flying away from me or running out through the woods because they've seen me. I'm looking for the stuff on the ground, because this tells me where they're at. This tells me where that they're spending the majority of their time. The first year I ever hunted this property, now this is only about 80 acres in here. It's not very big property. But the first time I ever hunted this piece of property, I actually hunted over here around these fields over here, because I thought, well, turkeys, fields, that's kind of where I want to go. I never heard a bird. Never heard a turkey. First time I ever come in here. And down here at the head of this holler on down at the end of this property this way, this is actually looks like the best place for turkeys to really be at, but I've never seen a turkey, I've never heard a turkey, and I've never shot a turkey down in there where it looks good. All the turkeys I've killed in this little place right in here has been within about a 200-yard area, like right in here. Now, how did I find this? Well, I found it because the first day I ever come in here, I walked around calling a little bit, being that hen that's just moving through, I wasn't going through here fast. I was just calling, and I started looking on the ground. I started going back to my old fall hunting tactics and looking on the ground, because I wanted to find out if there were turkeys in here or not. Because when you find sign, especially sign like I'm seeing right now, okay, here here we are the 1st of March, and I'm already seeing sign, okay? And this sign here actually looks probably 3 days old, maybe 2-3 days old. You know, the dirt's still kind of fresh, the leaves still look like it's pretty freshly kicked up. It looks pretty fresh. So this tells me that turkeys are already in here the first week of March. Now guess what? Invisible spirit turkeys did not make this. Ghost turkeys did not make this. There was real live turkeys right here 2, 3, 4 days ago making this sign. All right, that just makes common sense. But again, turkey hunters just want to listen to turkeys. But when they're not gobbling, and when you find them times when they're just not saying much, whether it's due to pressure, whether it's due to henned up gobblers because they don't have to gobble, you know, they're just out there with their ladies already. Because you got to remember, turkeys don't have to gobble to attract the hen. They've got other ways of calling to hens. You know, they spit and drum, and hens can hear that. They strut. You know, even though strutting is not a vocalization, it is a vocalization in some way, because when she sees him strutting, he's telling her, you know, hey, you know, look at me, look at me. So it is sort of a vocalization, even though it's not, you know, even though it's something that you can't really hear. It's what they see and they go to it. Okay, so when they're quiet, they're still attracting hens, and they're still out there, and they're still killable. You just have to stay out there, and you have to have the confidence, like I do, that I don't care if they gobble or not, I'm going to go kill them. And how you kill them is by finding stuff like this. And when I first found this sign several years ago, and every year it's pretty much the same thing. They stay. I don't know what it is about this particular place in here, but they just stay right in here, and every year it's about the same thing. So when I do come in here in turkey season, and I decide to hunt this, and I get in here and I hoot on my owl hooter, and I'll call and nothing gobbles, you know, guess what? I'm just going to say, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's go back to the blueprint. Let's go back to what they were telling me. And I just slip in one of these little ravines, and I slip off here in this little flat where I killed that big one, you know, about 4 years ago. And I'll just get in here and I'll just start calling soft, and I'll start just being that hen that's just moved into the area. And I'm going to tell you something, there's been a few times that I've packed them out of here that never said a word, or maybe they gobbled 1 or 2 times, that they just come in here because I found them by looking on the ground. You can do this stuff too, but when you just dismiss sign, you're really making it hard on yourself. If you're just going out there, especially you young guys that's just started turkey hunting, you're just going out through here chasing turkeys, you're really making a mistake. Learn how to read turkey sign. Look for the roost feathers. Look for feathers that they drop when they're when they're roosting. All right, we've all seen that turkey feather at the base of a tree. Well, when you find that, don't just dismiss it. Look at it and look around it. If you see scratching that's pretty close to that feather that's fell from that roost side, if you see scratching that's right out on the point or right out on that flat, the same flat, or on that hillside, you know what that tells you? That tells you they're not flying very far. They're not flying halfway across the ridge, or they're not flying way down the holler. They're just pitching off, and they're starting to scratch right off the roost. So what does that tell me? It tells me to get in there early, set up, because if they're still roosted in there, if that's a historical roost place, they're going to fly off. They're going to do the same thing. And how did I learn that? By looking on the ground, by finding scratching, by finding droppings, by finding feathers, by looking. If you're hunting in open country and you're hunting around a lot of muddy roads, look for strut marks. Look for them lines where they're dragging their feathers, and look for strut marks. Look for gobbler tracks. Look for hen tracks. Look for this stuff and put that in the back of your mind, and that way, when they're not gobbling and they're not saying much and they're henned up and they're pressured and everybody in there is chasing turkeys and spooking them, they're not going to run out of the county. Just get in there and start soft calling, start doing them little contentment calls, and start getting in there and hunting them right. And many, many times, you're going to pack a turkey out when nobody else packs them out. And I've done that several times by looking on the ground and knowing how to read signs. You've heard me say this before, but for some of you new subscribers, fall turkey hunting will teach you a lot about spring hunting. In fact, the fall turkey season was the original season. It was not the spring season. Fall turkey season was the original turkey season, and that's how a lot of the old timers hunted them in the 40s, 50s, and where they had a huntable population of turkeys. When the spring seasons began began to open up in the peak of the breeding season in the 50s, the late 50s, the 60s, you know, and on to the 70s. Well, when spring season began to open up, guess who was some of the first to kill a spring gobbler that didn't even know much about it? It was them old timers that knew how to fall turkey hunt. You know how they knew how to kill turkeys in the spring when they really never hunted them in the spring before? Guess what? They relied on how they hunted them in the fall. Finding the sign, setting up on that sign, and just calling real soft, and they started killing turkeys. It's true. And that's why a lot of the old fall hunters became great spring hunters, because they just hunted them by what's on the ground. But nowadays, it's almost become a lost art form, because we have our ways that we've got accustomed to hunting them, running to them, listening to them, locating them, which is fine. But you know, sometimes we'll run to the wrong turkey, or we'll run to turkeys and screw them up because we're trying to rush to them. You know, or we're sitting in our little pop-up blinds with decoys, sitting there for hours at a time and not seeing nothing, not having no productive season, when all we got to do is just get out here and let the turkey sign tell us where the turkeys are spending the majority of the time. But fall turkey hunting teaches us that, and it teaches us how to become better turkey hunters. It's really the truth. And you know, so a lot of the old timers, they didn't call very good. In fact, their calls didn't sound very good, but they still killed turkeys. You know, they just had old homemade calls, little slate calls, or they had, you know, an old box call that didn't sound very good compared to today's calls. But they got out there and they just called a little bit. You know, the old time method way of thinking was just yelp a few times, cluck a few times, put the call down, wait 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes, and then pick it back up, do the same thing, sit there, you know, wait 35, 40 minutes. But it worked. You know, sometimes, and it'll still work sometimes. But nowadays, we've got better calls, we've got better know-how on how to call, and we can be a lot more productive caller and be a lot more productive turkey hunter if we would just take today's technology and turkey calling and apply the old-time method of learning how to hunt turkey sign. But like I said, you can post a video on turkey sign, and this one may be one of them, gets very few views, because turkey hunters just don't care about sign. But them same hunters care about deer sign. But you're really messing up if you're not learning what's on the ground, because when they're not gobbling, and you're going to find many mornings they're not, if you know the sign and you know how to read it, your confidence still goes way up. And just like me, right in here, you can be packing one out when they never said a word. And boy, I tell you what, that's an awful good feeling when you know that you stuck it out, you didn't get mentally defeated, you didn't get depressed, you went in there and hunted them on his own game, and you were still successful. That's the difference in a turkey hunter and a turkey killer. A good turkey hunter and a great turkey hunter. Good turkey hunters, they'll kill, you know, some 2-3-year-olds that's out there gobbling, running around without a hen, you know. But sometimes you're going to hunt a property that you don't have that. You know, you're going to hunt places where sometimes you don't have that luxury. But a great turkey hunter is going to get in there on high pressure birds or mature birds that don't say much, and he's going to get in there and kill them anyway. That's what I want to be. That's what I've always tried to be, is I want to be that guy that goes in there and don't get depressed, get in there and hunt turkeys on their own game. You can do the same thing if you'll just get out here and learn how to hunt turkeys by looking on the ground instead of listening around. Okay, so I hope that helps you, and I do hope that this video gets a lot of views. And so make sure that you share it on your social media pages and let people know, hey, don't just pay so much attention on listening. Pay attention what's on the ground. You'll be a lot better turkey hunter. Subscribe to this video. Just hit that subscribe button and make sure that you hit that bell notification, so you'll be notified when we post more videos. We got a lot more coming. Turkey season is just right around the corner, so we'll be uploading hunts once season gets here, so you don't want to miss none of that. We'll be bringing you more educational videos also. So stay tuned to Dell Outdoors, and also check out all of our great partners and sponsors in the links below. And also check us out on Patreon, where you can send just a $5 a month donation to Dell Outdoors for when our videos get demonetized due to the hunting content sometimes. So if you just would run over there and give a $5 a month tip to us, I'd really appreciate it. It goes right back into Dell Outdoors. It just helps us And also check out Kona Scopes, check out Game Cuffs, where you can get a good old turkey tote that's really nice, and I really enjoy using their turkey totes. So check them out and use the promo code KNOWLEDGE23 for even a better discount. Check out Tidewe.com, where you can get the turkey vest that we use and the boots we use and a lot of other great hunting products over there as well. And make sure to use that promo code DALE, where you can get even a better discount over there as well. Check out Stoeger Shotguns, the official shotguns of Dale Outdoors. Y'all know my choice of shotguns, and I love my M3020 20 gauge, and you can check out all the whole line of turkey shotguns over there as well at Stoeger. And also check out Spring Beaver Custom Calls, where you can get my whole line of Matt Dale signature series of calls, including the little sly. I know it's sold out quite a bit, but we are making more and putting them on as quick as we can. You want to make sure to check out that little sly hybrid call. It's going to be a turkey killer this year, and I can't wait to get out here and kill my first turkey with it. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a killer. So check out all the links below, and we really appreciate everybody that watches this channel. Stay tuned for more coming down your way in the weeks to come. So we'll see you in the next video.